Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video, I'll show you how to create this login page using HTML and CSS in Visual Studio Code. If you haven't installed VS Code yet, go to the official website, download it and install it. I have included the website link in the description. First, let's create a folder to keep our files. I will name it login page. Then open VS Code and open that folder. Now let's create the HTML and CSS files. You can create new files using this first icon. Let's name the file index.html. Create another file for CSS as well. Then open the HTML file. Let's start with the basic HTML structure. First, add doctype HTML. This tells the browser that we are writing HTML5, which is the latest version of HTML. Then include the HTML tag. Inside it, add the lang attribute with the value en to tell the browser and the screen readers that our page content is in English. Inside the HTML tag, add head and body tags. Next, include meta tags inside the head tag. This ensures our page supports all characters like emojis, symbols, and multiple languages. Then add another meta tag like this to make sure our page is responsive. Without this, your design might look broken or zoomed out on fonts. Next, set the title. This appears on the Browser tab. Let's run the file and see the output. Here you can see the title has appeared on the Browser tab. Next, we have to add fonts and icons. Go to fonts.google.com. And in the search bar, type the font name. I'm going to use Poppins. Click the Get Font button. Then click the Get Embed Code button. You will see embed code like this. Let's copy and paste it into VS Code. To format the code, press Ctrl+A, then right click and select Format Document. Now let's add icons using the Font Awesome library. You can find the website link in the description. We can change the version from this drop down, so let's use 6.5.0. Copy this first link tag and paste it inside the head tag. I'll add 2 comments so it's easy to identify. Next, add the link tag to connect the CSS file we created earlier. Now the head section is ready. Let's move into the body. Inside the body tag, we will have a main tag acting as a container. Inside that there will be two sections, one for the form area and one for the image. Let's create the main tag and add a class name like container, so we can style it later. You can use any class name. Then add two section elements, one for the form and the other for the image. In the form area, first add the title and the subtitle. I'm going to use a paragraph tag with a class for the subtitle. Then create the form using the form tag. Add autocomplete off. This prevents the browser from suggesting previously entered inputs like usernames or emails. Next, create the email or username input. If it's only for emails, you can use type email. But since we allow both usernames and emails, use type text. Add the required keyword so the user can't submit the form without filling it. Let's add a comment also. Next, create the password field. Copy and paste the previous input and update the type to password. And give it a new name and ID. After that, add the eye icon. Inside an icon tag, add an ID and class. For the class name, use the exact class provided by Fontavesum. Go to fontavesum.com. In the search bar, type I. Most of the icons might be pro, but there's a free one under the classic regular category. Let's use that. You can also change the icon style from the drop-down. To explore more style options, click the color palette icon. You can change the color, size, and add animations also. For now, we need a static icon, so reset everything and use the classic regular style. Next, let's create a row for the checkbox and forget password link. Inside a div tag, insert a label. Then add an input tag with type checkbox and also add the text remember me. For forgot password, use an anchor tag since it's a link and include the link text. Then add the login button. Set type submit and the button text to login. Now we have completed the most of the form. Run the file and refresh. You will see the title, inputs and button have appeared. Let's now create the social login section. Add a paragraph tag for the line. Later we will use CSS to make it look like a horizontal line. Inside the paragraph, use a span tag for the text. Then add a div tag. Inside it, create two buttons, one for Google and one for Facebook. Add the Google icon the same way we added the eye icon. Then add the button text. Copy and paste this button for Facebook and just change the class names accordingly. Now create the last row for don't have an account sign up. Inside the second section, add an image tag. Set the src attribute to the location of the image. So this is the image I am going to use. Let's move this image into our project folder. Then copy its location and paste it in VS Code. Also add an alt attribute. If the image fails to load, this alternative text will appear. Let's run the file again. Everything is now displaying correctly. So let's open the CSS file to add styling and make the page look nice. Before styling, make sure you have installed the Live Server extension. Go to the Extensions tab, search for Live Server and install it. This tool helps us see our web page in the browser and it refreshes automatically whenever we make changes. So we don't need to keep reloading the page manually. Now right-click the HTML file and select Open with Live Server. Let's minimize the browser and the VS Code. Okay, now let's begin with the CSS setup. At the top of the CSS file, I'm adding something called a root selector. This is where we define CSS variables. Variables help us reuse colors and values easily across the file. This is the main orange color we will use for buttons and links. Next, let's add a slightly darker shade for hover effects. Set a background color and define a radius variable also. Next, I am resetting the default padding and margins for all elements using the universal selector. For box sizing, use border box. It helps control how width and padding are calculated, which makes layout easier to manage. When you press Ctrl+S, changes will auto-update in the browser. Now we style the body element. Set the font to Poppins. Minimum height, make sure it fills the whole screen height. Use display effects to center the login form both vertically and horizontally. Now let's style the main box that wraps the both login form and the image. The class name is container. Use display effects to put the form and image side by side. And also use flex wrap. It allows them to stack on small screens. Add border radius also. Let's add some shadow to this container. Here you can see shadow is applied to the border of the container. Now we style the left side, which contains the text and the form. It has the class form area. Add flex and use 1 for first and second values. Then use 420 pixels for the third value. The first value means this can grow bigger if there's extra space. The second value means this can get smaller if there's less space. And the third value tells the browser don't get smaller than 420 pixels. Now we style the heading and subtitle. For color, let's use dark gray. Then style the subtitle also. Then add styles for the inputs too. Each input is wrapped inside an input group. Let's style that first. Span is the label for each input such as email or username. Now style the input boxes. When the input is clicked, the border turns orange using the focus selector. Now let's position the eye icon inside the password field. Use top 50%. For the cursor, use pointer. So when hovering over the icon, the mouse pointer will change to a pointer. Next, we style the row that shows the Remember Me checkbox and the Forgot Password link. Use text decoration none in the default state and underlined in the hover state. So when we hover, it gets underlined. Now let's style the main login button. For the button's hover and focus states, let's use the same styles like this. I'm using transform here to add smooth animation to the button when hovering. You can see the button move slightly up when hovered. Next, let's create the line. The class name we used is divider, so add CSS like this. Include content, colon, then double quotes. This doesn't show any text, but it still creates a box or a line if you add styles like height, width, background, etc. This span is for the or continue with text. Now let's style social login buttons also. This creates a row for the social buttons. Gap adds space between buttons. Add hover state styles also. Let's reduce the opacity of the shadow. Yeah, now it's fine. Next, change the text and icon colors of the social buttons. Now let's style the "Don't have an account" message at the bottom. Use text align center to center the whole message. Use margin top to add space above this text so it doesn't stick to the social buttons. And also use font size to make the text slightly smaller than normal. Let's add styles to the sign up link also. For the text color, let's use the accent variable. In hover state, use text decoration underline. Next, we will style the right side of the form. This is the part where the image appears. For this container also, I am going to use flex with the same values we used previously. Let's add a very light grey background behind the image. Then center the image inside the container both vertically and horizontally. Next, add some padding so the image isn't touching the edges. Now we style the image itself. Use maximum width 100%. So the image will not overflow or stretch too wide. Also add border radius using the variable we created earlier. This makes the image look neat, clean and fit perfectly in its space. Now let's make sure our login page looks good on mobile phones and small screens like tablets. That's called making it responsive. We use something called media query in CSS. It tells the browser if the screen is smaller than a certain size. Apply these special styles. Start with @media, then open brackets and set the maximum width. This means if the screen is 768 pixels wide or less, like a phone, apply these styles. Inside the container, we use flex direction column. Right now, the image and the form are side by side because the default direction is row. But on small screens, we want them stacked one above other. So we change the direction to column. Next, reduce the padding around the image section so it fits better on smaller screens. Now let's maximize the browser. Here you can see there's a spacing issue between the subtitle and the label. Let's fix it. This should be updated as margin bottom. And that's it. We have just built a fully responsive and modern login form using HTML and CSS. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.